Hey everybody, I'm Rob Freeman and welcome back to Insuring the Built Environment. This week we are answering the question, what is an additional insured? Well, quite simply, an additional insured is a business or an individual that enjoys the benefits of being insured under the insurance policy of another party at the request of that other party. And the reason I wanted to do a video on this topic this week is that in the world of renewable energy project development, it is a very common thing to have projects that involve multiple parties. And so I want to talk about two specific things that you should be aware of if you're either being asked to provide additional insured status to another party, or you think that you're getting additional insured status. Those two things are a written contract and or a specific type of endorsement. So most additional insured status is driven by a written contract. It comes usually alongside something called a hold harmless or an indemnification agreement that says that one party is going to indemnify another and maybe add them as an additional insured on their insurance policy. And so if you have a written contract, that's a good thing, but you should check the endorsement that you think you're relying on from your insurance broker. Talk to your insurance broker and ask to see a copy of the endorsement and see what it reads and see if it requires that there be a written contract between the parties. So that's the first thing, a written contract. The second thing is the type of endorsement. Now, there are four sort of very common additional insured endorsements that you might see. There's the CG 2033, which is called a blanket additional insured endorsement. There's a CG 2038, which is another type of blanket additional insured endorsement. There's a CG 2010 and a CG 2026. And the first two, the blanket insured endorsements, are used basically by brokers. They can provide the certificates of additional insured status without actually having to go to the carrier, and so some clients really like those, but it's important to have your broker make sure that they look and read the contract that's in place with those, because an additional insured, a blanket additional insured endorsement requires a written contract. The last two that I mentioned, the CG 2010 and the CG 2026, require that you be scheduled on the policy itself. So again, you need to know whether you have additional insured status through a contract or through a scheduled endorsement on the policy. And the simplest way to verify whether you have additional insured status is just to ask for a copy of the endorsement that says that you're being provided with that, and then consider what the relationship is that you have with the other party that you're either giving or providing or receiving the additional insured status from. And so if you're a solar developer, for example, and you're working on a PPA with a building owner, and the building owner is looking for you to provide additional insured status, and you have a contract with that building owner, that's probably fine. And if you have a blanket additional insured endorsement, or if you have a scheduled endorsement with that owner on there, that's fine. But if you have subcontractors, such as a solar contractor, solar installer, they're going to actually do the work and you're going to pay them to do the work, or you have an electrician or somebody else that's doing work for you, or subcontractors, and those parties don't have relationships with the building owner directly, and the building owner is relying on some sort of additional insured status from those subcontractors, you need to examine the relationships specifically as it pertains to the language in the contract, and also look at those endorsements. So anyway, below this video I've gone into some more detail of some of the things that you should think about from an additional insured status standpoint. But anyway, I know it's a little bit confusing, but I hope this is helpful, and if you have questions about your insurance, please schedule an appointment with me. I look forward to talking with you, and thanks again. Have a great day.